don't begin. So go ahead and take your 2 blocks. And you can put your blocks together. Now, Richard, when you're talking about your knees, you can do this very carefully. If you can come slightly down like this, you'll do this. Otherwise, you can just stand your fists and do this. Or, guys, you can take your blocks at a high setting. But for everybody else, what we're going to do is you're going to stay up on the toes like this. Your knees are going to be slightly in front of your hips. And you're going to actually press down. It's like you're trying to squeeze the blocks and press down into them. And then just watch me for a moment. And as you press down into them, you'll feel what's going on into the shoulders. And then, the last part of this is watch how my neck pops slightly up. Like that. So don't do this. We're only doing pros so that we don't do that. This C7 is lifting slightly up as the hands press down, and then the heels feel like they work away from each other. Good. And just kind of breathe into it. So the idea is to feel where the thoracic cavity is at as it relates to awareness. So in other words, when you inhale, when the breath comes into the thoracic cavity, as you start to take more breath in, you feel these different lines of tension. And they're great lines of tension. And you just observe, oh, if I take in even a little bit more here, then I feel this. And then the same thing as you exhale, observe how the lines of resistance or tension change from the inhalation to the exhalation. And what I'd like you to really do is your 2 sit bones, when you inhale, imagine they sort of work away from each other, like a balloon pushing 2 blocks away from each other side by side. And then the thighs rotate internally. And just for the next 20 or 30 seconds, be really, really mindful with your breath. Your head should hang gently all the way slightly down as that C7 or navi bone in the back of the neck lifts slightly up. Almost finished. Almost finished. And keep pressing down into the blocks. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, slowly inhale, come on up nice and easy. Okay? And then slowly what you'll do is you'll come on up into a standing position. So before we start using the bands, we'll do one more thing with our 2 blocks. And it's actually pretty easy. All you'll do is you'll take a block on the medium setting. And then the ankles come back just about 3/4 of an inch. Okay? 3/4 of an inch. See that? So your ankles is 3/4 of an inch past the front of it. Okay? Then you're going to try to walk your feet in even if the arches are slightly elevated. As a matter of fact, you want to elevate them. And then press the 4 corners of your feet down and try to spread the toes open, thighs rotate internally, and then feeling of 2 sit bones broadening as you inhale. You'll take your other block here and you'll take it up overhead. So the work that we did with the shoulders just a minute ago keeps us nice and open for this. Now try to keep the big toes grounded, and then what I'd like you to do is maybe lean forward, lean slightly backwards a couple times until you feel you're really nice and centered. And then pull the shoulder blades down, bring your gaze straight forward. So straight out in front. Everybody's gaze is straight out in front to the other side, and then perfect your vertical alignment even a little bit more. As the thighs rotate internally, you will watch me lift the front of the hip bones up as the tailbone gently just droops down, nice and easy. So the lordosis is minimal. And then I'm going to walk you through one more thing here. As you inhale, feel your rib cage expanding. Try not to poke the hips forward. Work them back a little bit more, Richard. So work the femur bones back and the hips slightly back in space behind you as the sternum comes forward. Now, if you're ready, guys, slowly on the bottom of your block is what they call an ancient Chinese secret. Look and see what it is on the bottom of your block. Of course, it's invisible. Beautiful. Thighs rotate internally. Never force the head back. Never force the head back. Everything should feel at ease. Movement should not be painful. It should be exploratory. That's it. Pull the shoulders down away from the ears. All right. And then Back of the neck extends, look straight forward again, and beautiful, slowly come down. Excellent. All right, shake your legs out. Let's get your 2 blocks back in front of the board. And then what we're going to do for the next pose is we are going to grab our green handles. So everybody's mat is out of the way. Grab your 2 MBB handles. And once I see you holding them in your left hand, I know that we're ready to go to the next place. Hi, Stella. All right, everybody's got the green handles. If you see your partner and they're like struggling, help them up. All right? Now, everybody's should be on the green. So look at me. I'm not just going to pull, because what if it was really hard? Like pull, it throws my low back out. It really does. Think of the physics, right? Drop down, and then as you exhale, I want you to pull on it, because maybe it's on the yellow coating. So go ahead and pull on it, and just think of when you pull back your body, like pull on it, and know where it's at, so you wouldn't go flying behind you. All right, everybody's on green? Now, turn around and watch me. So, when you guys are ready, what we're going to do for this next pose is this. We're going to back up far enough that if I let go of my handles, I would indeed fall back. It's holding me up, but not statically, right? I can go back and forward, statically. Then, what you want to do is you're just going to slowly start out like this. Up, exhale down, a few times. And the movement should be very slow. You should be working the weight of your body. It's as if the body is the weight, and you want to make sure that your knees are not tracking, side to side. And then once we're ready from here, we'll get into the next part. So first do that. That gives me an idea to see how the knees are tracking. It gives you an idea to see how the knees are tracking. Thighs rotate internally. So rather than coming diagonally back and forth, it's actually straight up and down. Exhale down. First thing you want to do is look at your feet and make sure the outside edges of the feet are lined up with the mat. Not physically, but just that they're parallel. That's it. Slight bend in the elbow. That's it, Barbara. Stay with your breath. The weight of the hips. Good. Drop down, and then you lift them back up. Very nice. Now, slowly come on up. Great. And then turn around and watch me. Okay? So once you come up, then you're going to do this. And you may have your blanket there. You're going to take your right leg back. Does everybody see this? The right leg comes back. The only thing that I really care about is that your left knee is not in front of the ankle. And we do put the left knee in front of the ankle sometimes, but not with this first pose. So I'm back far enough, and then I do the same thing. I come up and down, but now I feel something a little bit different than before. I feel right immediately into my quad, and that's what we'll do. Up, exhale down. So don't come down too far, because if you come down too far, it's going to go into your knees. So, feet about hip distance apart, not even, a little bit less than hip distance apart. And as you're exhaling and coming down, guys, keep the hips nice and level. That's it. Exhaling, shoulder blades, go back and down. And breathe. Stay with the breath. Stay with the breath. Make the breath playful. Right? Exhaling down. And now, some of you that come down pretty far, now you start walking that back foot another inch behind you. So we say that the muscle tendon unit is being stretched from a different place. You're actually starting to engage different fibers of the muscles as well. Front of the hip bones are lifting up. 2 or 3 more times. Make that last adjustment with that back foot. So you want to think about a nice neutral center of gravity. So take this foot behind you just a little bit more. That one, just a little bit more. Good. And then drop slightly down. But bend those hands. That's it. Easy. Down. And back up. Beautiful. That's it. So maybe for you, practice. We're going to switch these out. We'll give you a little bit more control. Okay, guys. I'd like you to switch sides. Okay. So this. Let's pull it at one time. Feel the difference? And give you a little bit more control. So now we keep a nice center of gravity now. So I want you to think like up and down. Yes. That's it, Barbara. That looks nice. And keep that left thigh rotating internally without that knee turning from the midline. Use the arms a little bit more to engage that core. That's it. Nice, Rich. Dropping down, and now you start adjusting that back leg. And then you should say to yourself, yep, I definitely start to feel it into the left quad, into the left hip flexors, psoas, a couple more times. Watch that that left foot isn't dragging out too much. Always keep those elbows slightly back, Richard. Yep, that's it. And that's that, like that. And those elbows. And then engage this core here. You see so the heart in the front of the chest opens up and comes alive. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, slowly come on up. Nice and easy. And shake the legs out. Great job. Shake them out nice and easy. All right. And then the next one before we come into the loop here, okay, is your big toes are together. If you're angled too far, your feet could slip out in front of you, okay? So you don't want that. And you can also switch out from the green to the yellow if you want more resistance. But there's always a slight bend into the stable leg. So you'll take this leg up nice and easy, and you'll pull just like this. And then all we're going to do is drop down, up, forward. You see? Back, up, drop. Okay? Easy. Now, I'm going to do about 4 or 5 on each side. The thing about this is that you want to watch when you exhale. So I'll do it with you, and so we can just really get the flow first. So big toes touch. Your body's angled about 30 degrees. Look at me if you're not sure. Now, you would never go flying back because the bungee cords only hold you so much. Then, if the big toes are touching, let the right leg lift up. Let it float up, nice and easy. Then when you're ready, go ahead and just bend it while it's up into the air. And then slowly exhale, drop it back down. So you already know this movement pattern because we just did it. Then you come on back up, straighten the leg out. You can drop slightly into that left knee, right? That's it, Rich. Got it. And then up, keep the hips nice and level. Drop just a little bit into that left leg when that right foot comes forward and up. Beautiful. Nice that. And feel how this engages the core more than the other patterns. So it's a similar pattern, but because of the way we're working the leg, we work the kinetic chain more differently. That's it, Robbie. Good. And then, Robbie, when that leg comes up, when that right leg comes up, then bend a little bit into the left leg. So when that right leg, when that comes up like that, right, bend a little bit into that left leg. Got it like that. That's it. All right, beautiful job. Nice job. Good. Shake your legs out. Really nice. All right? Now, let's do the other side. All right? Now, expect a difference. There's always a difference. It may be subtle. It may be gross. The point is, the movement should flow with grace, with precision. And it's all relative. It's all relative. Breathe in. Now, time the movement with the breath. That's so important. That's so important. Yes, that's exactly it, Richard. Beautiful. Nice. And see, if this leg can go just a little bit back the next time. So rather than here, see if you can take it a little bit back and drop in, and minimal grip. Beautiful. Like that, sir. Just keep the face soft. Keep the face soft. Beautiful. That's it, that's it, that's it. Nice. Debbie, beautiful job. Right. That's nice, beautiful. Nice flow. Good. So everybody except for Cynthia, slowly go ahead and stop. And then just look at Cynthia for a minute. So Cynthia's a dancer, and so her movement is going to be very differently, but she's just finding a nice sort of grace. And so everybody should never be doing a pose exactly like her. Everybody has their own way of doing it, but this is it for her. And yours is yours, and yours is yours. And so be comfortable with your movement patterns. It's perfected over time. Okay? All right, now we're going to use the loop. So hold the handles that you just had in your right hand, and then take the other element, which is the loop. And hold the loop up with your left or right hand. Hold it up to here, and then I'll rise on me. Back up, should take you anything more than 3 or 4 seconds. And remember, when you lower your body, it should be static. Everybody static, doesn't stretch like a rubber band. Don't place it up over the head. Now remember, your mat can slip out from underneath you. Don't let that happen. All right, back up and put your hands where like the groin is at here, the little groove, okay? And then you want the band to be just slightly, right below the pubic bone. Then what you want is you want to come high up on your toes. Now, Richard, you're going to find maybe for you, you'll just stay flat on your feet, okay? Or you find some kind of a variation. So everybody up, nice and easy, good. Then I want you to lower just a little bit. Put your hands slightly forward. Now you should feel very balanced here. So from this point, if this is the most balanced point, you should be able to come on up and then just watch me for a moment. Watch me first. And then you should also be able to come down. The key is to let the chest come towards the top of the thighs. So when you're down like this, right, it's just a slow movement. Now you don't have to come really far out, but that's the movement. Up, it's a closed chain exercise, right? 4 or 5 times. And what you want to watch is that your feet will not potentially slip. And then the movement is, it's like free form. Yes, it's closed chain. Very nice, Richard. Very nice. Beautiful. That's it. And now I start to see a nice playful demeanor. Better. I like that. That's good. Up, back down. Work with the core. And be creative, but be consistent. That's it, Beth. Nice. Good. 3 or 4 more times. Great. And release. Now, we are going to come right back into this pose and do something similar, but not quite yet. So walk on back out now that we've got that movement, and then I want you to grab your handles one more time. Okay? So when you grab your handles, you know how they're in a green-coated bungee cord? Look at mine. They're green-coated bungee cords. What I'd like you to do, unless you're lighter than I am, you'll take the green and switch it out to the yellow-coated bungee cord. So very easy, really. If you don't think about it, you just take it off the green-coated and you put it on the yellow-coated. Or if you do want less resistance, keep it on the green. That's fine. All right? You're good. All right. So then I want you to look. I want you to pull on your 2 bungee cords one time. So come on back. You should pull on it, and you should see, yes, the yellow-coated. Good. Everybody's good? Now watch me. So with your 2 hands behind you, right, you're going to hold these. What I'd like you to do is take them in between your arms and your chest. Just like that. Okay? Then, you got that? Good. You're going to walk slightly forward. So we know that we're bungee, yellow bungee coated. Now, what I do in this next pose is this. I want to try to not let my wrists like kink. So keep the wrists, and there's a lot of resistance here. And the reason why is what you're going to do in this pose is this. Once your right foot is forward, just see how I'm kind of leaning over. It's great. But the end should challenge your nervous system. Here, all you're going to do is slowly, you're going to press slightly into the hand. See how I'm stabilized? But look at my back heel. My back heel works down like that. Now, please listen to this. Just please listen to this. The most important thing when you're doing this pose is that back leg, the quad must be super duper 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 active. Because if it's not, I promise you, you will hyperextend into your knee, and you do not want that. You'll feel the knee buckling right past where it should go. So it's a great therapeutic pose done properly, okay? And then make sure that the heel doesn't point out to the right or to the left. So, and then this is the kicker. So once you got it and you're in it, now inhale and then exhale. Press the handles out a little bit. Do you see that? Just a little bit. And it takes that stretch a little bit deeper, not just into the Achilles, but into the calf and into the backside of the body. Beautiful. So here, if your handles are on the inside like this, so I'll give you a little bit of just use the black part, not the tan part. That's it. Good job. That looks nice. So it does, if you look at Barbara, you guys on that side, so she's not struggling. But yes, she's working. So she's got just the right amount of effort. I can totally see she's working this heel back without hyperextending the leg. Tension is really nice. Same thing. Very nice, Susan. Nice. And the same thing for you guys on this side. If you look at Andy, she's the same thing. She's got an effort on 1 to 10. It's about a 3 or a 4 because it's hard to push the yellow bands forward. The green ones, you wouldn't get as much resistance. It's too easy. Good job. And release. And release. So you feel a lot of things, but some of the focus is really here, okay? And that you'll see when we do the next pose, why we did this one. This one prepares us for the next one that we'll do with the move. Let's do the opposite side. Okay? So other leg forward. And as I like to say, guys, when you do this, you know a drill press? If there was a drill press and horizontally it drilled through my hip bone, through my hips and came out, and then it was drilled right through the center of my hips. When you're doing this work, you're not too tilted, right? It's really equitably horizontal and squared. Yes, that's it. Nice, 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 beautiful. And then open up the chest. Even these scaling muscles, as you breathe, you can feel those muscles working. Beautiful. And that's got a nice little flow where she's actually using dynamic resistance. Every time she exhales, she's coming forward. And remember, once you're in pose, then push the hands slightly into the handles. And yes, it feels like it's going to push you over to the right, push you over to the left. It's okay. Stay, breathe into it. Then, very nice. Great. Beautiful. Nice. You have really good coordination. No, you do, because I'm going to tell you something. You just don't know it because you're thinking relative to yourself. But now that you come in, they're all over. They'll go lean to the right, lean to the left. You're doing great. All right. And then slowly go ahead and release. Very nice. All right. So I want to do one more thing before I take you in. Take your baton. So right behind you, your baton, and then the rubber part goes onto the floor. Right? Rubber part onto the floor. And then all I want you to do is this. You're going to big toes touch, right? And you're going to slowly take your right leg back behind you, and then nice and easy. If you want, you can come up on top of the toes like this and just drop slightly down and up, just a little bit. Or if you want to take it more intensely, you come all the way on the outside edge of the foot, and you'll just hold it and drop, right? Just a little bit of movement. Think a little bit of bringing awareness into the IT, okay? Good. And then, if you look, all 3 points, I'm actually very stable in this pose. The knees aren't compromised. I feel pretty good. So much so that I could even come and do all these other things here, right? I feel pretty stable. All right, and release. And let's do the other side. Stella, very nice. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's the pose. Beautiful. Check the legs out. And remember, so if you're doing the left leg now, your right hand can stay on it, and you could even use the left arm, see that, as a balancing bar. And come on in. Good. That's it, Cynthia. Nice. Good job. That's it. Excellent. Squared hips. Nice. All right, so we got a winner here. That's right. Hold it up. Beautiful. Pull the shoulder blades down. Nice. That's it. Now for Stella, if you can see her belly button is actually leaning over to the right. It's keeping her hips squared. Then she feels it a little bit more intensely in the outside edge of the leg. Beautiful. And release. Very nice. All right. And release. Excellent. All right. Put this back. Rubber side up. Grab your move. Over the shoulder, right shoulder, up over the head, and then so it rests on the shoulder. Okay? Good. Now, hold it at the hips. Grab the arm again. I know you guys think I'm crazy, but I'm not. I'm just trying to get as many touch points as possible. All right. In the right hand. Okay? In the right hand. And then what I'd like you to do is now take your right foot forward and your left foot is back. So you're using this so that you're not leaning over to the right or to the left. Now, many of the poses, I've had you up on toes and that back foot was like this. Here, you can actually stay, it's optional. You can be at a 15, 20 degree angle in the back leg. The idea is when you go into this pose, watch what happens with my hips. I'm actually going to turn my left hip out just a little bit. So I lean to the right. That little bit allows my hips to become really succinctly level. Now, we just did that stretch before where we pushed into the handle and we worked that back leg. So now you still got to keep the quad really nice and active. And then here, you can do one of two things. Once you're in it, and incidentally, if this is too high, it doesn't work. This needs to be low, so you have the ability to fall. And watch this. So here, once you're in it, you can hold it here, or if you really want to take the challenge, you'll place this so that the rubber is right beneath and you'll be in all contact points, dropping down like that. So my head is in contact, my low back is in contact, my thoracic, and I lengthen out through the neck. That's it. And then I'll walk you through once I see that everybody's kind of got what you would do from there. Beautiful. So it's never about how far you come down per se. What it is let go for 1 minute. So place that there, hold that there, take your head back, towards this, good. And then lengthen back that. Now, go down without losing any contact points. So I don't care how far you go down. You see the difference? That's it. That's it. Good. You don't have to try to go anymore. Now, lift the back of the neck up as the head, note, as the head lengthens away. Yes, so you're reducing the curve. And you see how this came off here? Keep it back down. So don't go down that far. Yes, you see? Now you're really working with the skeletal muscles very deliberately. And, now this is the thing that you want to do here, guys. Press that right foot down into the floor like you're trying to squeeze a piece of cardboard. And as you squeeze the piece of cardboard with that right foot in front, I want you to pretend like you're trying to pull it back towards that left foot. So the right foot doesn't move, but there's a slight bend in it because you're pressing the right foot down, trying to retract it back. It keeps the knee in a really nice place, and then an interesting thing occurs in that back leg. Very nice, Susan. Beautiful. You get a little bit more extension to the back of the neck. Yes, guys, that's it. And when you're ready, inhale. Bend that leg in front a little bit and slowly come out. Beautiful. So it's really easy to come really deep. There's all kinds of compensation that occurs to do that. The idea is that, right, all those contact points. And as soon as it starts coming up, I've gone too far. Right? And the biggest thing is the back of the neck here. Lengthening it. Right? Other side. That actually looks really nice. Remember the square hips. Okay? Remember to push the band down a little bit. Push it down so you have room to fold forward. It's like having, you know, something impinged on a hinge. And it doesn't move so freely. And that would be the belt in this case. Yes, Sandra, like that, like that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Very nice. Very nice. So although you still have the natural curves in your spine, they're not exaggerated. Cindy, see if you can lengthen the back of the neck now. Yes, so you press up into this, which goes towards the bar as you lengthen, like that. This is extraordinarily nice. Great, Stella. Fire up that leg now, guys. Press the left foot down. Squeeze that cardboard. Squeeze it. Press it down. Now, it's glued to the floor. Your foot's glued to it. Pull it slightly back towards that back foot, but there's no sign of physical movement. But the only thing you can see is that kneecap is really engaged. It's slightly bent into the knee. Beautiful. And then as much lengthening as you're getting out to that right side, get it out to the left side. So the key is, as you get lengthening through that right side, try to keep the spinal column lined up with the tip of the coccyx. Breathe into it. Breathe into it. A couple more breaths. This is nice. Very nice. Beautiful, Rich. This goes to show. Less is definitely more in this particular pose for you. That's great. No sense in trying to take it further down because then you just defeat the whole purpose. All right. Very nice. And then
really well.
What's that?
You're doing it really well.
Yes. Yes, you are. All right. So, back up. Hold this. Take your right leg out. Everybody take your right leg out. So, you're going to walk forward, but just watch me how I do this. When I walk forward, my left thumb is holding this out. So as I start to walk into it, look what occurs. As I walk into it, you see my pants and everything turning internally? It's encouraging the muscles in the skin to rotate internally. Then, I position the left foot in such a way where I don't lose contact with the band. Just try it. Now the band you want to be not quite towards the knee, but maybe a little higher than the middle of the thigh. And then from here, with that contact, you should be able to come slightly up on the toes and slightly back. So the key is really keep it a nice angle, but having it as far forward as possible. So you just worked with those squared hips. Then what you'll do is, if you've got that pose here, you'll take this up. Now, the hard thing about this pose is, actually, see if you can turn and look at me. When you're in this pose, I'd like you to take your rod and do the same thing. So if you look at my rod, it should be pretty vertical to the floor. So the idea is to lift the front of the hip bones up. Yes. Towards the floating ribs. The shoulders work slightly behind you, but not at the expense of increasing the lordosis or the arch in the low back. The key is to take out the arch in the low back relative to the muscles being used. This is a really nice representation of the pose. Beautiful, Robbie. And that's right, get that extension in through the head, really nice. You see, the muscles that normally would discourage you from going deeper, these are the ones you're challenging. Breathe into it. Work that right hip slightly back. Nice work. And then if I look at your baton, it becomes a little bit more vertical, but that's because the front of the two hip bones are lifting it up, up, up. Beautiful. Check that foot in a little bit. Yes, that's it. Good job. Nice, you feel it. And this is as the two hip bones lift up. Yes, you rise, nice shakes. And breathe. And become supremely divine pose. Ah, and release. Really nice. Really nice. Now sit into place. All right. So back up and put one hand on the wall and take your leg out. Okay? And the reason we do that is just because you work the nerves so intensely, you wouldn't want to fall trying to switch out. Okay? Beautiful. And then what we're going to do is this. You can set your baton back into its holder. And then I'd like you to grab the handles. And I'd like everybody to switch it back out now. Richard, you can keep yours on the yellow for stability. And we do that a lot when people come for the first time. We work more with the stability than anything. And then you start shifting it out. So everybody's in the green. I want you to pull on it one time to make sure that it's hooked up properly. Huh? That's okay. That's what I remember I said. If you're lighter, leave it green. Exactly. So now, what we want to do is this. Everybody got the green? Sometimes I go a little bit of that. I figure if I try to always stay 2 steps ahead, at least we'll be somewhat. Okay. All right, so watch me, so you know what to do. Okay? So you're going to come back, the big toes. We did all these different things, right? Now what we're going to do, when we come back like this, is we're going to take the leg up, just like we did before, but we're going to make the number 4 here. Then, because we really want to work the piriformis, the gluteus maximus, and technically speaking, the obturator internus. So you're going to keep that right foot flexed. And then, you see how I'm like wavering, right? We try to really execute precisional movement. So here I drop down and I come up. I drop down and I come up. But then, if my 2 sit bones, if they can remain level, and I can make circles, do you see this? Forward, up, down, and around. And that's what I do. I make these precisional circles. Up, exhale, down. But you see my shoulders? And the shoulders moving. So if you want to prepare yourself for the pose, you can do this. You can bend and just do this movement first. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and do that before we do it, because it's a nice precursor, quite frankly, to really get a pattern established, if you will. But you're leaning back into it, and then there's a protraction and a retraction. And that core is really nice and engaged. And when you retract, it comes back down and around. Nice. All right. Now, big toes together. Body's angled 15, 20 degrees. Let the right leg float up, like helium. Then, bend the right leg and press the bottom of the shin bone into the left leg, and now up and down a couple times. First, walk back a little bit more, Richard, just so your feet's not too far. And whenever I say walk back, unless I say like a whole lot, maybe an inch at the most at a time. That's just because you want to check it out. Oh, if I can get 1 inch, I can go a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. That's it. And keep those elbows bent. And now maybe up and down, and just try it a few times. That's it. Exhale down. You don't even have to do the circles yet. Just up and down. And then when you start to feel ready, that's it, Stella. Liberate the number 4 here. Good. Nice. That's good. Really engage in this core of our run. Very nice. Time it with the breath. And this is one place where I look very deliberately at everyone's sit bones, because I want to make sure that there isn't too much of a discrepancy in height. Yes, keep that foot flexed. Keep it flexed. Nice. Beautiful. All that work that we did in the last pose with that Vera 1 helps with this. Nice. And release. Excellent. Excellent. All right. Let go of your handles. Come over here, grab your baton. I know we have to do the other side. Okay. So the right leg came up and over. Now, the rubber side down. Take your right leg up into the air. Okay, so press your right hand into it so you feel stable into that left leg. So it's like a marionette. It's like I'm being lifted by these strings of the puppeteer, right? And then watch this. So all of a sudden, the puppeteer gets me and tilts me into this pose. My sit bones are still level, however. Now I'm on the toes. So I can have the foot out here, I can have it back there, or for some of you more adept with movement in the lower chain, you can wrap it around like that. Much more challenging, no doubt. Then when you're ready, go ahead and take this guy here, right? Take it and bring your gaze down to the floor in front of you. So right in the middle of the room is your gaze. Perfect your movement now. Gaze straight out in front to the other side of the room. Straight. Everybody's gaze straight out. And soften the eyes. Soften them. Notice, look back down to the floor. Now notice every time you change your gaze, how that potentially, and sometimes obviously, affects your experience of the pose. Then when you're ready, take it up into the air now. So now it's up into the air. And listen carefully. Inhale, fill up the chest, and then slowly when you're ready, exhale, right? Very gently, turn your rod 90 degrees. So everybody's turning towards the left. Yes. That's okay, but as long as you remember, yep, to the left. Beautiful. Because you want to keep that right sit bone working back. That's the hardest part right now, is turning this way. For most of us. All right, and then back towards the center. Beautiful. And shake your legs out. All right? Very nice. So, your body's really itching to do the other side. That's great, because we're not going to do it yet. We're going to go back and do the other. Now we're going to come back to this. So it's going to have to wait. Trust me, I do know. It's like, no, I need to do it. Right. Set it back in. All right. What are we going to grab next? Handles, right? Grab the handles. And we make the number 4 with the opposite leg. Huh? No. Yeah. Oh, we will. We're going to come back to it. All right. So, when you're ready, now, cross it up and over. And then, again, keep those elbows bent. Beautiful. Lower the hips and maintain your sense of balance. So the foot on the floor is the balancing point. And the handles are the stabilizers. Right? Beautiful. Up and down. Good. Exhale, and then go ahead and start to make your circles now. Easy. Up. Beautiful. It's really great for knees, strengthening of the knees. Really great, so long as you don't overdo it. Very nice stuff. Good. Nice soft face. Excellent. Okay, no grip. No grip. 2 more. But you're doing great. Very nice. All right. Nice. And release. Move the fingers around nice and easy. Great. And grab the palm again. Well, when you're ready. Right? So You can, again, take it out. You can even use both hands to stabilize. The physics of this is really very balanced, okay? And then when you're ready, just decide you want to come here. This side is definitely, even for me, it's more challenging. I can feel it, not torquing the knee, but pretty close. You can see I'm not as open, and my knees want to go out to the right. The idea is to keep, in this side anyway, to keep the center of that right knee facing forward, right? It's facing forward. It doesn't turn out towards the right, because then that creates torsion into the tendons and ligaments. Beautiful. Now for you, Beth, point the toes and work the anterior tibialis. They point them straight back. Yes, and then drop down into it, stabilize that right kneecap. Beautiful. Gaze out at the floor. Nice. Good. And then go ahead and grab your baton. Beautiful. Gaze straight out in front. Nice mastery. Beautiful. Take that left stick going back in space more. Take it back and let the right hip come slightly forward, like that, Stella. A little bit more, Beth. Right hip, left hip works back. I may have said that backwards. Left hip works back, right hip forward. Beautiful. Now take the baton up, up, up. Beautiful. Good. And lower as you squeeze into the legs, if that's sustainable and possible for you. Breathe into the chest. Let me see those rib cage move. Let me see if you become expansive. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Good job. Nice. And release. And release. Beautiful. Go ahead and shake your legs out. Excellent. All right. We're going to do the Vera after the next pose. The hand comes to the left, opposite leg. So what I want you to do is this. I want you to take your baton, and I want you to insert it into the two handles, but insert it into the tan part. And then hold it with one hand and look at me. Now remember, you know, your rod was built, it should just about come an inch or two into the other person's rod, right? So then everybody look at me, because this is a really important detail that you don't want to miss. Your thumbs, so we know that we're inserted it through the tan part. The thumbs hold the handles because you wouldn't want them to move. You'd fall out of it. So your hands are holding these black rubber molded parts. And then I'm on blue, I mean on green, that's fine. And then I back up. So the thing is, I always protect my low back. So watch me first so you know what to do. Watch me first. So as I back up, then what I do is I lower my chest towards my thighs. Now, I can slowly come a little bit more forward if that's too much. And then here, I inhale, and then I exhale, and I slowly. So this left arm is straight, this right arm is bent. I inhale, and I exhale back towards the center. I inhale, and I exhale. See? So the upper arm is bent, the bottom one is straight. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Okay? Again, sit bones are level. So, Richard, walk your feet back just a little bit more. Yeah, then lower yourself a little bit. And see if you can lower yourself where your chest comes a little bit more angled, like that. But I want you to watch your low back. And I want your face to be soft. 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 That's it. Now, it's almost as if the rod was still at your back. Remember all these poses? We have the rod onto the low back. It's almost as if it's still there. So you wouldn't want the top of the rod to lean too far back to the left. So it isn't about how far you go as much as it is, and listen to this, to the string of words. It's more about the rotation along the axis of the spine. In other words, the muscles rotate along the axis of the spine. I won't say it again, I promise. Good. 2 more times. Nice. Well done. And release. Beautiful. Beautiful. If you need a water break, grab a water break. Really, it is really a crime, really, to do this stuff dehydrated. You need to make sure you're hydrated. So this is a place where just before we come into the next Vera, grab your water, some water, come on back. All right? I know you guys are all thinking, well, wait a minute, Miguel, you've never even done that before. I've never seen you say take a water break. I'm just sensing that there's a little bit of dehydration here. I don't know why.
People are really that work. What?
The room got warm.
Yeah, it's okay to take a break too. It's pretty intense, so, you know.
No, it's good. Oh, good. What company ever come to it? Anything this big one, that's just, yeah. I always find that.
Did you
And
get?
that was the name.
Yeah.
And it's on
Classical natural justice.
Good year. All right. Great job. So, I think we have everybody. So, baton in the, what you'll do is, baton is in the left hand, and then this is going to come into the right hand. So you're going to move it to the right hand, and then you're going to place the right leg into it. Okay? So don't fall, that's why you're holding the baton. Remember when we did this, we took the right leg out, so now it's the right leg that's in. So the same thing like we did on that other side, watch this. You're going to hold it with your thumb. Now remember, don't have it too close, neither too close to the knee nor too close to the pelvic floor, right? And then you'll see it encourages the muscles. And then what you do from here, use the weight of your body to get that, right, extension and opening up the leg, okay? So, before we go into this pose, take your two fingertips and put them right on the top of the hip bone in front, okay? See that? All right. So that's called the posterior anterior sacroiliac spine. That's the name of that thing, okay? Meaning the front of it lifts up superbly towards the head. When you lift this up, it should take out part of the arch into the low back. So you can take the back of your right hand and kind of push the flesh slightly down as you lift the front up. And then if you're doing this on a scale of 8 intense, it should only be about a 3. Now back up that heel behind you. So press the heel down. Then when you're ready, you can go ahead and take this up. But remember, once you're up into the pose and you're nice and squared, then you're going to take it vertically. And I think this is where I go get my carpenter's level and I put it on the back of your rod, your baton, and it's vertically straight. But of course, you know I don't really mean that because you don't want to do that and increase that lordosis. So, hip bones, lift up. Yes. Then that back heel presses down. And then you let that left knee come slightly forward. Very nice squareness of the hips here. Beautiful. Breathe. Now you can also take your baton here and you can press the back of the left hand or whatever hand is holding the bottom, press it in and then press with the top hand and then press your back into it. Do you see? As the tailbone gently scoops. Nice. See if you can walk your foot just that way 2 inches. A little bit more. Beautiful. Nice. And then actually, you know what? It's reversed. So switch it up. What's up? I didn't catch that at first. Nope. So that's just the neck. So this leg is forward. You'll feel it. You'll be like, wait, I get it now. Yeah, good. It helps, keeps you more square. That's it, that's it, that's it. Good, 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 good. Work that left hip slightly back, but to work it back, what's got to give? Anybody? What's got to give to get that left sit bone back? The right hip, in the hip flexor and the psoas, right? It's got to release here to get the movement of that left hip back. We've got to release the front. So for you guys over there, that's got to release here, right, to get this back. And for you guys, beautiful. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Excellent. And slowly release. Remember, if you're coming out, hold the rod. Take it out nice and easy. Go ahead and kick your hand out, okay? So before we use the board, do we have it in us to do just a little bit more, it's a little bit intense. You definitely feel it on a scale of 1 to 10, it's about a 9.5. You guys got it in you? All right.
10.5.
All right, perfect. All right. So what I want you to do is this. I want you to take your loop that you were just using and put it up over the peg to your right. Now,
but actually you'll do this just so it's out of the way. Not that big of a deal at all. All right, now everybody look at me. Watch what I just did. You see how I just did this? Does everybody see mine? Take a look. I put it up over that. But look at this. See? So you want to make sure that you can still pull on this because you don't want to be and hear this thing go snap because it falls off again, okay? Now, watch me now. So here, you will need your baton, but you'll have to set it. You're going to follow the handles all the way up, and you'll see this black little metal buckle with a little piece of Velcro on it. Right above the Velcro, press your thumb where it says press. And then lower your handles so they just touch the floor. So that they barely touch the floor. So that they're in contact with the floor. Yep, so you'll press it in and then just lower this. But not too much. So it just barely touches the floor. Okay, there you go. Good. All right, who doesn't have it? All right, again. Now, be really careful in this, folks. So, Richard, go grab a chair, because this is your first time doing this, so I do this a lot for people the first time, because it's not worth an injury or falling, okay? Now, what you're going to do is this. The baton is the right hand. Left hand on the wall, and watch me. I take my left foot, and I insert it through the tan part of one handle. Go ahead and do that. The tan part. If you don't put it through the tan part, it'll not feel very good to the foot. All right, and then everybody walk a little bit more forward. All right. You really got to watch me because I promise you, if you don't watch this and get this, you will not have the best experience. So, all antennas up. All right, so I walk the right foot forward, and so I don't want to lose my sense of balance. The first thing, look, this was right up here. Now, I don't want it there when I do this. Where I want it, look what happens. I want it there. Does everybody see the difference? That's where I want it. Wow. Then, when I come forward, so I'm assuming everybody is on green except for Richard. And you're on what, yellow or green? Okay. So watch this. I come forward, my right foot is forward, my left foot is back, and that's on it. So I can feel this tension. Now here, I can take, at this point, once I'm ready, my right foot is front, I can take my baton into the left hand. But look how it's angled. So my left foot is behind me, my left hand is here. Then what I do is I stabilize this right knee, and a couple of times I just do this. I take the knee forward, I retract it, and then I return back. Alright, so it requires a lot of skill and a lot of, it really does. And then again, now I want everybody to just stay still for a minute and watch me again. So now, I've done this a couple times, and this knee is very stable. Right? Now, what I do is this. Watch how I round the back. You see? And then land back down. And that back knee can even bend. And then land back down. So you never want to come too far forward that your foot isn't going to land graciously back onto the floor. Nice. That's it. So, you guys have something really nice going. It's great. Yes, yes, yes. And if you need more tension, you will want that right foot up just a little bit more. But remember, that makes it more challenging to land back down on the left one. Nice. And heavy. Like the rod, when you come forward, it's like that rod is pulling you up and you're rounding. Okay, good. Nice. All right. Now listen carefully. Watch me. I want everybody to just stay where they're at. I'm going to come in here and just show you just the fast way of coming out. So the fast way of coming out is just, but make sure it's all the way up. Hold your rod up. Good. Bend your knees. And you don't have to jump. You can just do this, up and down. But if you can, jump up and land down, up, land down, up, and land down. Okay? Beautiful. Great for the bones. The only purpose we're doing this is just to work electric energy via piezoelectric conduction through the bones. All right, let's do this. Huh? Really? It's
it's really great for both, especially for women, because, you know, with osteoporosis and things like that, really great stuff to do. But if you're jumping and this is occurring, dangerous.
What is it, right?
Huh?
What's occurring?
If this is occurring or that's dangerous, so you always gotta be in control. That's what this band really does. It helps you to do these movements. It really does. Because you have the assistance of it, it helps you to really track and refine your movements in a more precisional manner. That's it. That's beautiful. Good. And when you're ready, all right? Remember, the stick in front is angled because that way, you see, it's like a gear. These are all gears and levers. See, Robbie, he's got a really nice one going there. Beautiful. And look at how stable his knee is when he comes forward. It's very stable. Yes. Keep this straight. Use this always straight. So anchor this in and keep that arm. And but now you're going to bend it. You see, you're going to bend the arm. So it's. Yes, that's it. Like that, like that. Now you got it. You see that? It's like that. Pull the gear and turn that little ski lift down. All right, maybe that's not the best one. Beautiful. Round the back, round the back, round the back. Round it when you come forward. Head, chin comes towards knees. Very nice. Yes, Sandra. That's it. Beautiful. Nice. All right. Watch out, Robbie. Watch out. Good. Muscle. Good job. Like that. Always just. That's something that this you haven't made before, so that's it. Let's place. So the next pose, on a scale of 1 to 10, is about 35. No, I'm joking. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's take the handles that we were just using and now try to find a way to put it up over your. Okay, great. Then what I'd like you to do is this. You have 4 blocks. So first of all, make sure your mat doesn't have any, like bubbles. So I'd like you to take one block, put it like that, about 2 feet out in front or a foot and a half out in front. Line it up with the center of your mat. Then take your 2 more blocks and put them. Maybe you can see a little black line. Maybe not. It doesn't matter. But place them around a little bit, not quite halfway. Yep. And then your 4th block, I want you to put right here. Right, now the bowling balls we keep. So, take your barrel lock, push it in, and watch that you don't throw your back out when you do it. So remember, you got all these blocks. So now you have to use your visual. Now, mine just didn't land quite down right, Rich, but once it comes down, then you want to take this and put it in. So I said the black line, but that's not what line I'm here to report. All right, so Robbie, take yours, see how yours is angled, and get it nice and straight. Beautiful job. All right, now, what I'd like you to do is take your 4th block, hold it in your hand, take your mat, fold it, and make sure you take all the slack out of it and set it up over. But pull the slack out. So like really pull it. So, all right. We got that? Very nice. Now, take your blanket, and you may or may not use your blanket. But what you'll do with your blanket, the way you took it out, you'll just fold it one more time. That's it. And then what you'll do is you place the blanket on the right side. If you're looking at the wall, on the right side of your board. Right. Beautiful. So I'm going to change it. I was going to have us do this here, but actually what I'm going to do is have you grab your block, and I'm going to have you place your block on the left side of your board. The left side of your board. Take the block on the left side of the board if you're looking at the wall, about a foot. Then I want you to walk up on the middle of your board, on the middle, walk up on the board, always stay towards the middle, all right? And grab your, no, that's what
The dreaded baton.
baton, exactly. All right, so go ahead and place rubber side down. So you guys can actually put it on the other person's if you want. If it's not too far out, you can put it on the person to your right, their board. So watch what we do. We're going to come right to the edge. Now watch your weight, and that's the importance of making sure the block is right at the corner. So look at me. Big toes touch, and I am all the way in front of the board and as far over to the edge as possible. So the outside edge, and the big toes are touching. So the outside edge of the right foot. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to take the right foot off. So it's off the board. Take it off the board. Now, don't do this where this falls. You've got to be stable with this rock, particularly in this pose. Now, what you'll do is now you're going to walk your foot, the left one, over about 1.5 inches, 2 inches towards the edge of the board. Now, this foot is more free to move. So the idea here, a lot of times we do this pose and we do this. See, this is what we do. But this is a little different because how I like to do this pose, as long as I know I'm stable here, because I don't want to fall off the board, and I certainly don't want you to fall off the board. So the point is, the center of the kneecap is looking as far forward as possible. It's like a pedaling motion, but there's two things that are occurring. I'm bending into my knee, and this stabilizes it. Then look at this knee here in slow motion. This is it. It comes back, down, and around. So there's this dynamic motion, and I like to say it's a pose that revolves around a centrifugal force. And the centrifugal force is, it's a pseudo-centrifugal force, but it's like the lag. It's like when you take a ball on a chain, and that's the centrifugal force, and that's what you mean. But then at the same time, you're bending into that left leg. Very nice, Cynthia. Very nice. That's it. Excellent, Stella. Breathe in. Yeah, now, find the flow. Nobody's pose should look like anybody else's. If there were just magnets connected to both knees, to the hips, to the shoulders, to the hand on the rod, and you were to shut all the lights off and those glow-in-the-dark receptors, yes, you would see a lot of similar movement, but not exactly. Beautiful and release. All right? Very nice. Shake your leg. Well, and it's a progression because you know, usually when we do this, remember, I had you put your hand on your hip and I had you do this. And so this is the next progression from that. So then in another couple months, then we'll switch it out a little bit as well. That's kind of what we do. All right, so we have two choices. We could either walk out of here like this, and all the physical therapists are going to question the efficacy of this, and we'll do the other side.
We'll buy some photo.
All right, so move to the other side, and go ahead and use your arm for stability, or use the other person's board. It may be too far out, I don't know. Okay? Well, you got pretty good. All right. So feet walk all the way over to the outermost left. Yes. So I would want this foot over more. And the reason why, Debbie, is the legs being held out a little bit. You actually want it to feel like it's just an apple on a tree hanging from a zero center of gravity. Yes. Now you can throw in the salsa if you want. Take the head and move it and make it a nice dance, if you will. It's really, when you do this, it's like the movement is one thing, but there's this kinesthetic, you know, that's it. We have visual, we have olfactory, we have hearing, but there's also the awareness of movement. And every single cell in your body should be engaged in it. Yes, and release. Very nice. Beautiful. Nice. Now, this is not for everyone. And I only want those of you that really know that you can do this. There's only about 3 or 4 of you. And you know what? There's also things that you 3 or 4 could do that we can't do. We don't have to go there. We know this. So the point is, but you can see that this could be, so here it's almost as if you're a diving board. So if you guys want, you can just come down a few times, drop down, and come on up. And the idea is you're above the floor, so your visual field enjoys this movement and knows it differently. It's like something's a little different. It's the feet aren't on the floor. And then for some of you, what you can do is jump down. So who's going to jump? Tell me.
Me.
You?
Mine.
You can? Yes?
We're all doing it.
I wouldn't. I really wouldn't.
We're all doing it.
What?
Then we are.
Not on top of the blanket, you won't. Okay. All right. So listen, when you land like that, this is something that you can get injured on. So if you don't know how to land, I promise you, you should not do this. So just set it down. Exactly. Nice. Beautiful. Nice. That's okay, Robbie. A for effort there.
Do we
Very
have
good.
to jump back?
Huh?
Do we have to jump back?
Well, Robbie did because we do this in Thursday night class sometimes. So you can if you know. But it's dangerous because if you fell and you're going to get it, you're going over.
I want you.
Not jumping back.
Right. So, and release. Nice. Beautiful. Excellent. Excellent. The reason why these are really nice, again, it's for the bones. It's for the bones. No, so you guys know, Mary's a gynecologist and she does a lot of alternative stuff, but a lot of what she does is hormonal regulation and stuff. And so her being a physician in functional medicine and all that stuff, I consider, and I know the value of the bones, like getting the bones, because the bones are alive and move. It affects your endocrine system, it affects your paracrine system, it affects the way energy, osteoblast, osteoclast, white blood cells, all these things. All right, release. Do you want to know what we do usually? We actually lower this, and then we do the jumping, then it's on a lower setting.
That makes sense.
That's what we do. This is the more advanced one, but because it was there. Exactly. I mean, if you guys want to try it in a lower setting, we can. We can take the time to take this down, or we can just go into what I was going to do next. Blanket on the right. Baton up forward. Right? Listen carefully. 1, look at this. I want everybody to watch this. My sit bone is on. Look at the left leg. It's actually supported by the board. Do you see? So everything is supported. I'm halfway off the board and halfway on it. That way, this board keeps the symmetry into my hips here. And then I can take my hands forward. I want to keep this foot flexed, and then I slowly drop down nice and easy like that. And that is the pose. Now, the only thing that I really care about is that the knee is not in torsion. So for those of you that are not so open, the foot is way over by the left hip, like that. And then the reason the blanket is here, because many of us, when I first started this, I could never get my hip down. Couldn't. It was way up here. So then my teacher came and said, oh, well, put that there, or put this here. And that makes all the difference in the world. You see? Then, oh, it's sustainable, it's doable. And then I come down. All right, let's try it. And then I come around and I help everyone. That's like, oh yeah, it is. They must have their own devices. This is pretty intense though. It really is. Take it back here. Because you can always go into it, hold it, and then you can always move it into that. But always start out, yes. That's it. Clever, yeah, okay, now you got it. You're right. I was going to say walk more forward, but you're good. Good. So, here, what we would do, that's actually good. So the only thing we want to do now is we want to get you to the point where you can just about rest on that. Does it feel like it's giving you a little rest? No? Okay, I can take you into an alternative pose. Watch this. I'll do everybody go. You sure? Okay. All right, then watch your knee, and then track this. You got it. I was going to say, track that left foot into the right a little bit. Good. Now flex the foot, everybody. Flex the foot. Flex it, flex it, flex it. It's a nice extension. Watch and observe that knee. Very nice, Gabby.
You want the back foot flexed?
No, the one in front. Yeah. If the one back, if you let the top of the foot rest on the floor, you'll get a stretch into the anterior tibialis. If you're up on the toes, it's more the posterior tibialis, meaning the muscles on the side of the front of the shin bone and slightly back towards the posterior.
Could you check me, because I put all over.
Just, I would take half this and then put that there and then walk a little bit more forward, hips, so that this, and then let that drop slightly. Nice. What, this here? Right, I catch that before. So when you rest on that, this knee, gives you support to keep that squareness in the hips. And then come forward. So we can all see that this is not a pose that we hold for 15 seconds, 20 seconds. All right? Good. And you're, yeah, this is good. This is good. Slowly feel the torso rotating towards the left as you get the extension. Yes. Watch, you don't overdo it, Richard. You know, because if this is these movements, you'll be really sore if you overdo it the next day. All right. Beautiful. Yeah, you feel that insertion there. Yeah. All right. You all right? Okay. Huh? Yeah. All right. Other side. Slowly coming out. Slowly coming out. Most injuries happen coming out of pose. Not going in, not holding it. Coming out.
We're alive.
You're all alive? All right.
It's a nice way to do this.
Yeah, it is a nice one. What you just did, yeah.
It just happened, but
Yeah.
it's really there.
Yeah, it is.
You do it on the floor.
All right, opposite side.
So this could be better.
Nice, good. Yeah, I'll try to see where you go, and then I'll vision the box in case we need it. Yeah, it is. I agree. I mean, you can definitely see that there's more flexibility on this side. Yeah, that's nice. That's actually really nice. Just make sure you keep that on the fast. The very top of the neck should be lined up somewhat with the tip of the coccyx of the tailbone. So the tendency for most of us is to let that left hip go towards the wall that the board's connected to. But in fact, the opposite occurs. That left hip works slightly back as that right hip drops. Beautiful. That's very nice. Breathe into it. Good.
Miguel's torture chamber.
Shh, don't say that so loud. Think of something you love. When you think of something you love, it makes the pose more palatable. And if it doesn't, then you need to back out of how we keep you out of pose. All right. Think about how you want to come on out. Nice and easy. Beautiful. Good job. All right. Everybody grab a bolster. There's just a couple, two more poses left. So come and grab one bolster. Unless I come through.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good.
I got it.
Okay. All right. Everybody's got one?
Rich,
Okay.
Rich.
All right. So, look at this bolster. The bolster is definitely more flat, right? We want it this way. Okay? So then, you're going to place it right up against the front of your for this. Okay? Just like that. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take your blanket and you're going to fold your blanket up and over like that to hold it into place. Okay? Now what you're going to do is you're going to take your block, place it there. Okay? Beautiful. Then what you'll do is you'll come and sit in front of it like this, and all you're going to do, you should be able to reach back. You can take this on the medium setting, or you can actually angle it. If you get it just right, you can angle it, you can hold it right here like this, and then if you feel good there, like this, that's great. All you'll do is extend one leg first, and then the other. Now the idea is you might have to pull your hands back and watch this. Pull your sit bones back. So that's, actually you should do that. Put your hands down, pull it back. Open up the chest. If you want, you can keep one leg bent. That'll help keep you into the pose without sliding. Take your shoulder blades, open up the chest. See, just like that. And if you'd like, then you can take your arms out on a nice 45-degree angle like this and just close the eyes. Okay? Breathe into it. Or you can take your hands together on the floor, off to the side. And then once you've relaxed enough into the pose, go ahead and extend that leg that's bent straight. You have to move the blanket so it doesn't slide in the blanket.
Why was that?
Oh, yeah, well, mine was, so I had to move it. But look, and you do this. Turn it sideways. You did. I can get it for you.
I'll try it again.
Let me hold
I'll
it.
try it.
Got it? Perfect. Now we're going to do the same pose again, but you're going to be 180 degrees the other way. So let's come up. Slowly come on up. But awareness to it, so 180 degrees the other way means this. You'll take this and leave that there, and then you'll put your baton back, and then you'll come like this, and elbows are on the board, and you'll come far enough off the board that when you come, you'll open up and watch this. Here, you can place this here, you can place it here, and now your elbows are a little bit lower. And the same thing, shouldn't go into the low back, so just bend one leg, and that'll help keep your low back neutral. Or you can do this. But you don't get as much to the hip flexor when you bend the legs. If you bend one leg, you'll straighten it out, and then you'll bend the other, okay? The idea is, guys, that your arch of your back is not exaggerated. The stretch is really from here to here. Does everybody see that? It's not uncommon for me to keep talking, and then I stop, and I look, and everybody's been in the pose for a minute. Bless them. Walk back a little bit more, and it's okay. I mean, if you're really open, you don't feel the way somebody else does. Walk back a little bit. Oh, no. Yeah, that's good. That's good. And then you can keep the block in this. Yeah, it is. It is. But the legs are active, so you want to press the heels in. Yes, Susan, like that. That looks nice. Good. And keep the back of the femur bones pressing down. Pressing down. Beautiful. Yeah, it's hard, like what to do with the hands. You have to kind of just play around and find the spot. Yeah, that's the only downside, is that it's not always the easiest place to find. Hold with the hands and arms. Nice way. Very good. Yes. That's it. Nice. That's exactly it. It's a beautiful pose. It's really nice. In this pose, it's a pediculation. It's like when you watch a cat, or you watch babies, or you watch even us adults when we wake up and we stretch in the morning. There are these natural patterns of movement that the fascia in the slings of the body yearn for, to what some people say reset the ground substance of the body. And the ground substance on the most elemental level is sort of the master brain behind everything. It's fluid, it's electric, it's magnetic, it's chemical, it's hormonal, it's all the things that keep everything working in its most simplest form. Debbie, would you add anything to that?
I think you covered it all.
Okay, I'm not here because you're very good at this stuff, if you do. Sorry, we have to take you out. The next one is just as nice too. So slowly coming out. When you're coming out, bend the knees, push your hands and your elbows, lift the head up. Right? Coming out slowly. Turn around. There's just 30 seconds, and then we go into Shavasana. And what we'll do is we fold this blanket up so it's right on the board front. Then you'll scoot so it's across the back of the femur bones like this. It gives you just the right pitch into the alignment of the sacrum relative to the hips. All right? Push your hands so you can squeeze like that's it with your feet. Pull the bolster in. Put your hands in front of your knees and take a nice deep inhalation and get some lengthening, right? And so now you're getting extensioning, and all you'll do, you'll maintain the extension, you'll come forward. You should feel like you're stable, and then nice and easy, you can grab, you can lift this up nice and easy. Press down into it, so you don't come down too far into the low back, and then let your head in. It's really not much. It's not like you're doing some deep, intense pose here. This is actually just relaxing the nervous system more than anything else. All right. And slowly lift the head up. And then when you're ready, take your blanket with you. Turn around. Once you have your blanket with you, your low back. Your legs are elevated on the board because if I took the legs off, if I were laying on a piece of soft Play-Doh in my low back, and I got up, you'd see the form of the Play-Doh. But if I were like this, and then I was on Play-Doh, you would see that Play-Doh is much higher here in the low back. When the feet are up, it takes out, see, a lot of the unnecessary lordosis. And then the stuff like in the blanket is really nice because it's soft. Feet come together, heels, whatever. Just allow yourself an opportunity for final relaxation. Breathe. Softly relax.
Very slowly, your fingers, your toes. Observe the moment, grace, stillness, equanimity that imbibes your every heartbeat. Sandbags off to the side, starting to roll off, fingers nice into the chest. Okay. And when you're ready, roll to the side. Rest the head for a few seconds. When you feel ready, step forward. Time. You can just fold your legs, which is really nice. Hamsters and corset. Put your hands together. Just close the eyes for a moment. Sometimes when the eyes are closed, you classify things as good, bad, right, wrong. That's just the way we're wired, and the way our communities and societies work. But one very beautiful part of our being is that the higher self, deep inner self, it sees through a lot of that. It takes a little time to get there, but it sees through a lot of these things. And one thing we know for sure, that regardless of what happens, regardless of the classification, every moment is truly a gift. And it's just a matter of time sometimes before we understand that. But a simple blessing is being in a moment of full awareness, just letting go of everything, being in community with yourself and others, as we are here now. So it's the blessings of our being. Thank you. Namaste. Thank you. You guys did really great work. I decided, because we just worked really kind of hard today, I omitted the inversion deliberately, and that was why I just see now. But you guys did a great job. So thank you. Have a great day. Huh?
Unless we think you would forget.
Oh, yeah, no, it wasn't that. It just, no. All right, so I'm going to cut out so we can next class, but I'll see you later today. And thank you guys. Oh, Richard, you did a great job. You did a nice job. So.
You too.
Right. Oh, okay, gotcha. What a beautiful place, right?
That's nice to do.
Let's see here. This. This.
I'm going to forget. I just remember to do that.
Oh, I know. I meant to put it there. Yeah.
I forgot all about it.
Yeah, just call me. Give me a card and then I can.
Yeah, well, I just
Is that how you made it?
Yeah,
Just let me give you a check.
yeah, I have.
No, I did the other day.
I didn't at all, no, I just,
Bye, guys. Have a great weekend. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Miguel. That was the funniest thing. When you put the section down, I thought it was first. As time went on, how long were you pressed? Oh, that's so funny.